Today is October 27th, actually. Uncle Jake is back. The World Series has not been a letdown. And we're going to talk about the Rookie of the Year tonight. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Let's go. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh, joined as always. I say it as always, but haven't been for a while, but he's back, guys. My brother Jake.
You see my buddy Wilson?
For those of you on video, you got a visual. For those of you not, Jake came into the screen with his hair draped over his face. I don't really know. Oh, okay. So you were Castaway. Is that what you're saying? Your buddy Wilson? Oh, his headphones are off. He can't even hear me. Can't even hear me. Is that like a Castaway? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
So because you've been gone. I got you. How you doing?
I'm tired. I tell you, I haven't missed for luxury reasons. I'll tell you that.
Well,
for the most part,
you went to a football game.
Well, that one was luxury. But it's just been crazy. I've been closing a lot of work and opening the next day, and it's nuts.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we're here. We're ready to go. Canyon's in the chat. And we played all the way through the end.
Good.
Of that song. That's always, fun when I don't fade it out. Yeah, your hat is a mess.
Yeah.
You got the headphones knocking it off.
Right?
Off center there.
That's because, these headphones are taped, right? They're broke, so they're taped.
You need new headphones.
Yeah. I'm done with the crooked hat today. You know what I'm saying?
Got another Boylan's.
Got the Boylan's.
Boylan's vanilla
soda?
cream. Yep.
All right.
Cream soda. Yeah.
Their root beer is legit. I'll tell you that.
I bought about 4 bottles of this, and I said it on Thursday's show that I'm not drinking any of them until the podcast, just so I could do that, just so I could say this is what I have. Because we've been slacking on the root beer game a little bit on here.
Yeah, I've been on Mountain Dew for a while now.
Yeah. We need to get some extra root beer.
Yeah, I do.
All right. See if there's any local root beer down there.
So the local root beer down here is Barks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was created in Biloxi.
Okay. All right. That's kind of cool. Pitt City what? Some cream soda and Irish whiskey to the best. So there you go.
That's fair.
That's fair, he said. So Pitt City what's in here? How you doing? Hey, we're going to talk about some World Series stuff as we've been doing and as we should be doing. If you haven't been watching, it's absolutely incredible. Is the best, not to the best, just to correct that. Thanks. It's been incredible. All the stars. Jake, you haven't really gotten to chime in at all on it because you've missed, 5 shows.
Yeah.
And so you haven't really gotten to chime in on much at all, but we'll talk a little bit about it. I think the main topic tonight, though, we're going to talk a little bit about the Rookie of the Year, as if this has been a conversation, but there's new things that came out recently that will bring this conversation up again. And we want to dive a little bit deeper because we're a little late to one piece of that discussion that we'll get into. So that's basically it. Bucko Mike's in here. So yeah, let's let me start with this. Thursday night. Okay. Thursday night. Katie always, a lot of times she'll bring up the show early on. Well, Thursday night, the boys were still awake. And so she was upstairs, or at least maybe one of them had come back out or something. And she put in the chat, Max says hello. And so he was sitting there with her. So I said hi to Max, told him to go to bed. The funny thing is afterwards I went up there I went up there and she said, he just didn't get it. He was trying to talk to you and even said, now he's 2, and even said, why isn't dad talking back to me? Like just totally thought we were on a video call and I wasn't responding to him. And he's like, why won't he talk to me?
Listen, my favorite Max story right now is when you texted me the other day and he says, what's, I can't even think of his name off the top of my head.
Oh yeah. For the Dodgers. Go ahead and tell the story though. And I'll get the name. I think I have an idea, but
I get a text and it says, Max. I'm going to read it because I have it right here. And it just says, Max. He looks like my Uncle Jake. Hi, Uncle Jake.
Yeah. It's Kopech.
Yeah.
Michael Kopech. Yeah. He
so funny.
He had the hair pulled up, you know what I mean? Like you've had a couple times. And then the beard or whatever. And he's like, that looks like Uncle Jake. And then literally goes, hi, Uncle Jake.
So funny.
You know, when your kid gets to the age where he can like learn how to talk, he doesn't stop talking. And that's where we're at. So whatever he's thinking, man.
Yeah.
He's just yelling it out. It's fun. But that is a good one. Both of those are good ones. So anyway, why don't we start with the Pirates stuff, right? That's the stuff that everybody wants to hear about. And then we'll get into the Freeman walk-off and the World Series stuff a little bit later. For those of you who want to stick around for that, please do. I mean, baseball is baseball. So, but I think the relevant stuff right now is talking about the Pirates and the things around the Pirates. And this week, the Players' Choice Awards came out. And I actually don't have that right up in front of me. The Players' Choice Awards came out, and they've got their rookie, most outstanding rookie, voted on by the players, Jackson Merrill. Oh.
It's terrible. It's just a bad. And it's voted on by the players. That's the crazy part. Like, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
You know, you told me we were going to talk about this. I'm just like, Jackson Merrill has had a very good season. Very good rookie season. About the same as a lot of other rookie of the years.
Yeah, he had a rookie of the year season. Let's clarify that.
Yeah. And what Skenes has done is not really done much. Like, it's just not done.
Yeah.
So how can you vote on it and give it to some guy who puts up numbers that other rookie of the years put up? Like, a lot of other rookie seasons have been like the one Jackson Merrill had. And Paul Skenes is doing things that no rookies have done. And it's just wild to me to think that the players voted for Jackson Merrill.
Jackson Merrill had a rookie of the year season, type season. Paul Skenes had a historic season.
Yeah.
And right. So, I mean, obviously we've had okay. So just to clarify, we are biased here.
Yeah.
So like, we can't remove that. That's not a thing that's really possible, right? We have it. We can try to step back and look at it from a bigger perspective and all that stuff. But ultimately we're humans. We have opinions. We have biases. And that's the case here. So it's hard for us to really say like, okay, there was a time this season when I said it goes to the position player because it does. But we had that conversation like, is that value or is this just who had the better season? You know what I'm saying? And we really said like, no, this is, and the Players' Choice Award says not rookie of the year, but outstanding rookie. Now, how can you tell me that Merrill's season stands out? Maybe I'm getting too technical here, but stands out more than what Paul Skenes did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just Paul Skenes' games were appointment television.
Yeah.
This wasn't just, oh wait, Jackson Merrill's up, let's cut in. They're not doing that.
Right.
That's, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. After every Jackson Merrill game, there wasn't tweets everywhere. just flooding
Right.
your timeline saying he did this today. This is how many people have done this. The list is only this long. Sometimes it's only him long. Other times it's 2 or 3 other guys. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so for us to say this is who we think it should be, that's one thing. But this does kind of show that this is a close race. And if they were split up, AL and NL, I think both would be unanimous winners.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it is that close. And like I said, it's nothing. Jackson Merrill had a great year. I've been impressed with Jackson Merrill, and I haven't hid behind that. Some of the talk, some of the conversation around this guy versus this guy does kind of make you, it gives you that temptation of maybe resenting someone and resenting their game. But I've, mostly stayed away from that.
Yeah.
But the players are voting.
That's what I've always said. He's a good player.
Right.
I'm not trying to deny that.
So let's talk about some of the other ones because this is the way it goes. Like this is the players. To me, this is a big one. This is your peers. Mm-hmm. This means a lot to the players. It doesn't go on your resume.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't go, it doesn't go on your baseball reference, but it means something to you. Well, here's a couple other that don't go on your baseball reference. The Sporting News. They have their Rookie of the Year that they release, Jackson Merrill. Baseball America, who does not do an NL and an AL. They have one rookie, and it went to Paul Skenes. So it's, you know what I mean? And I don't know who else. I'm sure there's other ones out there that are throwing their attempt in there. I mean, sure. The Bridge to Buctober podcast gave it to Paul Skenes. We're 2-2. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody's going to say who? I don't care.
It's hilarious.
But it's so there's, there's a mix. It's not all Jackson Merrill across the board. And you know that a lot of this is going to say, well, they posted every day. They played from opening day to the end of the season. They were on a playoff team. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think, right? But when Aaron Judge sits down to put his vote in, if he wants to say that his team made it to the postseason and that's what matters to him, then he's going to vote for them. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes these things, you know what I mean, a little bit different, is that different voters can have different criteria. Mm-hmm. It's literally just most outstanding rookie or rookie of the year. And it's what you value, I suppose. You know what I mean? I don't know that they ever put an official criteria on it like that to guide votes one way or the other. So, like I said, BBWAA, not quite there. They are, I have it in my notes here, the actual the official Rookie of the Year, November 18th will be announced. I imagine the finalists will be announced before that, but there's no secret there. It's going to be those two and probably Shota, you think?
Yeah,
probably Shota. Yamamoto with some missed things, all that stuff. I think Shota will be on there. Yeah, great season too.
Yeah,
he
did.
The American League is wide open. I think Colton Cowser got this one. I think the Sporting News had. Is it the Sporting News? Let me see. I've got the Sporting News one up. AL rookie is. Wait for it. Mason Miller from the A's. Okay. And Baseball America don't have that one up. But Baseball America, I forget what. Oh, no, they only have one. So it was just Paul Skenes.
Yeah.
They don't do ALNO. So here's the thing. One thing that we have not dove. Do you have anything else there before I go into this next piece here?
I've spoke my piece on that.
All right. One thing that we haven't gone into in this conversation, and many others have, is the idea of maybe it's time we have 2 Rookie of the Year awards one for pitcher, one for position player or hitter or just player, however you want to say it. So, so first off, how do you feel about that? Let's start on a surface level. Let's just split them, pitcher, hitter.
I don't love it. You could change my mind on it, but I just feel like you're going to water it down a little bit. And, if there's no, okay, so we're going to split it, pitcher and hitter. Is there ever a chance where someone just can't win? Hey, y'all sucked. Nobody wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but maybe put a low bar. If no one gets under this number of something, war or whatever they want to use to say, listen, nobody got this. There's nobody that really stood out. We're not doing it. And that you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
But that's the only way I could see something like that panning out. Because if your best, say your best pitcher is, holding a 4.52 ERA, goes, I don't know, 6 and 7. That's not a rookie of the year. You didn't even pitch that well. But you were the best pitcher on the rookies, so here you go.
So it's kind of a right. Now
that's just kind of how I see it.
You could also say, by the way, Bucko Mike just puts it in here. It's worth saying because Mason Miller had a great year. 2.49 ERA, 28 saves, 104 strikeouts in 65 innings. Dude was awesome. Right. And he was, again, anytime he was in, you wanted to see it, you wanted to hear it. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of deserving guys on the AL side. But even then, Colton Cowser, Mason Miller, now you can kind of have one of each. You know what I'm saying? You got that sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. There would be some considerations I would have in this case. Right now, you have 2 rookies of the year. One for the AL, one for the NL. And that's the way BBWAA does it because they also do AL and NL Cy Young, AL and NL MVP. You know what I'm saying? And it's AL, NL, well, that's Rawlings, but Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers, they all get AL and NL. And so it makes sense that you would split them apart. But I wondered if you split apart pitcher and hitter, if you just said, this is an MLB award. One pitcher in MLB, one hitter in MLB. That way you still only have 2 rookies of the year. And you're not and it's not 4 guys, right? I don't think there's ever a way you could say I'm not giving an award out. However, I did a little tiny bit of digging, not too much, just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Timing gave me a little bit of digging. The Sporting News used to do this. Okay. Let me see. From 1946 to 1962, they chose one MLB Rookie of the Year. One player got it, like what Baseball America does. Then they had one pitcher and one hitter from 63 to 2003, and they did that one from each league. 4 guys got Rookie of the Year. From 1963 to 2003, 4 guys got it. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Clear to 2003. They also, but this is the Sporting News, right? So this isn't official. We don't have 4 guys out there getting quote unquote Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. And they dropped the pitcher and hitter, but kept AL, NL in 2004. So the only reason I bring this up with the Sporting News, like I said, not an official, not the official on your resume, whatever. Right. Well, depending on what your resume is for. If your resume is for the Hall of Fame, it's not on there. If it's just for, hey, I was a Major League Baseball player and I have some accolades, then heck yes, it's on there. All of them are on there.
Absolutely.
Take what you can get. Player of the Week? Oh yeah, it's on there.
Yep.
So anyway, here's a couple notables that I noticed. And this was just a high level look. I looked at the winners and I was like, all right. And I compared it to the BBWAA Rookie of the Year winners and just looked at the pitchers and the hitters and just kind of really quick with some guys that maybe I recognized or that stood out to me, right? And it was actually, I looked at a 3-year sample of 96, 97, 98. And I picked that 3-year sample because there was a lot of overlaps in the later, like into 2003, that it was kind of a no-duh kind of an answer, right? And everybody was really good. And maybe I'll get to that a little bit later. I'd love to hear what anybody in the chat has to say about this and what you think about having a pitcher and a hitter Rookie of the Year, and if it's even something that should be considered. And are you doing this because you want Skenes to get one, or are you doing this because you think Jackson Merrill deserves to get one? That depends on who you think's actually going to win it. So let's go to 1996. The BBWA winner, the actual Rookie of the Years, were Derek Jeter and Todd Hollandsworth. All right, so we're already in some, okay, we got some big, Derek Jeter. That's legit, right?
Right.
So those were the Rookies of the Year. Actually, just to say, Sporting News had Jason Kendall as the top hitter in the NL. So Todd Hollandsworth wouldn't have, obviously did not get it as far as the Sporting News was concerned. I should have looked up Todd Hollandsworth numbers just for the conversation of it and compared it to Jason Kendall. But I didn't. Instead, what I looked at was who got the National League. I looked at American League too. And the American League dude was legit. I don't remember who it is right now. I could probably look I have the tab still open, but it's buried and I'm not going to do it for the sake of time. But I will say that the NL pitcher was Alan Bennis. We probably remember that name, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the Rookie of the Year pitcher for the National League on the Sporting News. 32 games started, let's say it right. 191 innings. That's pretty impressive. Those two things, rookies starting 32 games and 191 innings. I'm already impressed.
Yeah.
13-10 as if it matters, but it kind of did in 1996. 4.90 ERA. Rookie of the Year, Jake, 4.90 ERA, which is way better in today's game than it was in 96.
Right.
3 complete games and 1 shutout. Very impressed with that in comparison. He gave up 27 homers and struck out 131 batters in 191 innings. This is a less than impressive season.
Yeah.
And he gets the pitcher Rookie of the Year from the Sporting News just because they had to name a pitcher. This is a little bit of what you were saying.
Yeah. And I actually did not look this far down on your page. So on your note.
Yeah.
I didn't see this stuff.
So let's go to 1997. Oh, let's see who won the Rookies of the Year that year. Nomar Garciaparra and Scott Rowland. Very legitimate players to win the Rookie of the Year. But also, we're talking about Hall of Fame worthy guys. There you go. Hollandsworth. Bucko Mike tells us 291, 12 homers, 59 RBI. Like, he won Rookie of the Year. And that's kind of meh.
Yeah.
Hey, Bucko Mike, look up Kendall's numbers for that year too, and let's compare and see if Kendall got robbed. That's what I want to know now. Hollandsworth won the Rookie of the Year that year. It certainly shouldn't have been Alan Bennis.
Right. Right.
And Bucko Mike also said, keep one rookie in each year. So for the league. Okay. So 1997, we said Garciaparra, Scott Rowland. I don't remember the pitcher. I should remember the National League pitcher because it was good. Like the pitcher was good. So 97, it was Matt Morris. We know Matt Morris, and James Baldwin was the guy in Chicago, and they had like mid-3 ERA. So they were like, I could see that as a rookie. I could see, oh, okay. So Jason Kendall, 300 average, 3 homers, 42 RBIs, 7 steals. So, yeah, I mean, this is one of those things. Not necessarily.
Yeah,
I guess Hollandsworth probably is going to get the nod there. Probably a close race, but not a Jackson Merrill type race.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to 1997 because James Baldwin, was that the name? Did I just say James Baldwin? Did I just say James Baldwin was the pitcher?
No, you said Matt Morris.
Oh, no. James Baldwin was 96. All right. And it's not James Baldwin. I wrote James Baldwin. I was like, that ain't right. It was Jason Dixon. in 97. The numbers are right. The numbers are right. I just wrote the wrong name for the wrong season. Now I'm going to make sure the numbers are right. The numbers are right. So Jason Dixon gets the AL Pitcher of the Year, Rookie Pitcher of the Year in 1997 for the Sporting News. 32 starts. Again, impressed with 32 starts as a rookie. He did pitch a little bit the year before, I think 7 games. So that counts for something. 203.2 innings pitched. So again, incredibly impressed. I don't know.
Right.
I should have looked at his age. I don't remember his age. 4.29 ERA, which once again, a 4.29 today, I'd be like, okay, he's a rookie, 4.29. I'd be happy with that season. I don't know if it's Rookie of the Year worthy. Certainly not with Nomar Garciaparra in your league. But, you know, it is what it is. And let me see here. I lost my space right here. Okay. 13-9. Once again, 2 complete games and a shutout, 32 home runs given up. And in 203 and 2/3 innings, he had 115 strikeouts. The point is, this guy's not a Hall of Famer or Hall of Famer. This guy's not a Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean? The numbers just aren't there. They're not good enough.
He was 24.
He was 24 that season. So he's, 203 innings, 24 years old. Let's go. I mean, I'm impressed by that, but that was the game. That was the game.
All-star.
He was an all-star that season. So some of these numbers might have been, okay, he might have been really impressive in the first half and everybody gave him, or the Sporting News gave him that for that reason. That's what I said. I didn't look deep in. I don't know the cases.
I'm just on his baseball reference page now.
So at the end of the season, though, when you go in and you say we have to name a pitcher, then I guess we name him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He did come in third in the Rookie of the Year, official.
Okay. So there you go. 1998. Once again, we're getting into some names here, Jake. Into some names. 1998, Kerry Wood got NL pitcher, rookie, and BBWAA Rookie of the Year. Full sweep. But just to say, Todd Helton in 1998 did not get the Rookie of the Year. He got the Sporting News hitter, right? But he missed out on Rookie of the Year. Todd Helton, Hall of Famer. In 98, he hit 315, 380, 530. That's nasty. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
25 home runs and 97 RBIs and 37 doubles. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Kerry Wood, on the other hand, 26 starts, 13-6, 3.40 ERA, not even close to what we're talking about with Paul Skenes. 3.40 ERA is not even close, but 166 and 2/3 innings. 233 strikeouts. That's 12 and a half strikeouts per 9 to compare to Skenes' 11 and a half this year.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. He only walked 85 and he only gave up 14 home runs. So yes, he had a great season. And this is the first time when I was looking and then kind of ran out of time. Oh, by the way, Todd Helton only 54 strikeouts and 530 at-bats that year as a rookie. 54 strikeouts in 530 at-bats. And he walked 53 times. That's phenomenal.
OPS plus a 119.
That's phenomenal. Okay, so that's not...
He finished second.
He finished...
Obviously.
Well, of course he did, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. But this is one of those, if Merrill finishes second, you're going to look back at this and say, oh, without knowing who got one first, you're thinking, he should have won. And then you go and it's a pitcher. And then that pitcher had a 3.40 ERA and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Or let's say 10 years from now, you go back and you look at 2024 and you look at Paul Skenes and you say, bro pitched 130 innings. What are we even doing here? You know what I'm saying? You might have that same thought process. Oh, 170 or 100 and what is it? 100 and shoot. How many strikeouts? We should shouldn't we memorize Paul Skenes' stats by now? 170 strikeouts. I was right. 170 strikeouts and 133 innings. He started 23 games and he's got rookie of the year. Okay, well, Kerry Wood started 26. Now, of course, the innings are there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The innings are there. Everything's there. And Bucko Mike says, Wood did this with batters on the roids.
It's fair too.
Yeah. He was dominant.
Yeah.
So was Todd Helton. Mm-hmm. So if you go back and you say, if we would have had both, things like this would work themselves out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just, in the surface level digging, you proved that 1 of 3 years it would have been legit.
Right.
So how often would it be legit if we kept digging? You know what I mean?
Right. So you go back to 2003. You got Rafael Soriano and Dontrell Willis. And I think Dontrell Willis got Rookie of the Year. In 2002, Rodrigo Lopez, Jason Jennings. I think Jason Jennings got Rookie of the Year that year. In 2001, CC Sabathia and Roy Oswalt. Let's go back to those years I just called. 2003, Dontrell Willis got it. Jason Jennings got it in 2002. Eric Hinsky on the other side, by the way. Oh, 2001. 2001 was Ichiro and Albert Pujols.
Yeah. Neither one of them probably actually deserved it.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Oh, my gosh. But you had Roy Oswalt and CC Sabathia miss out.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Literally
Rick Ankiel.
My favorite meme on the internet is the one with Pujols' senior picture, and it says he's no less than 35 with 3 kids.
2000 was Rick Ankiel and Kazuhiro Sasaki, which I think Sasaki got it.
Sasaki. Rick Ankiel, the pitcher?
Rick Ankiel, the pitcher, yes. And yes, Sasaki got it, and Furcal in the National League. Cincinnati, Scott Williamson actually got it the year before that. And Tim Hudson missed out to Carlos Beltran. Kerry Wood in 98. Rolando Arroyo. Once again, I looked that number up. I looked that guy's numbers up. They're not bad. Like, I could see a Rookie of the Year being that guy. So like a lot of these are, I didn't talk about them, right? So I went from 2003 and I had to go all the way back to 97 before I found a pitcher who was not Rookie of the Year worthy. So that when you say, well, it took you 1 out of 3 years. No. I'm saying, like, if I pull up Rafael Soriano and Rodrigo Lopez right now, Matt, I don't actually remember seeing their stats, but where am I at? Soriano, what season was I just looking at, Jake? That would have been 2002 for Soriano. Yeah. That doesn't seem... Yeah, no, Soriano was one of the ones that was bad. 456. I think I was looking at the 153 season when I said, oh, that ain't bad. And then, so Rodrigo Lopez was 2003, which was his 3rd season somehow. How is that possible? No, he was 2002. He had pitched a little bit in 2000. 357 ERA, 196 innings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine for a rookie. Like, he still had a good season. I mean, he wouldn't have, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You would have had guys like that. Maybe it does dumb it down a little bit. Or, like I said, I think my thought process was you only have one each. You have a pitcher for all of MLB and you have a hitter for all of MLB. I think, hey, we both got a DH now.
Yeah.
Why do we're playing everybody all the time. Like, we play everybody in the league every single season now. Do we really need to separate these out? I think for certain things, sure. But maybe for this one, because the rookies are so weird, like we've seen really strong cases on one side of, like on the NL, is like, oh, it's all about the NL rookies this year or the AL rookies this year. And the other leagues, like, yeah, like if we would have had 2 of those guys in both leagues, like, I mean, I think even like, I'm trying to think of like 2009. If I can go back to 2009. Chris Coughlin and that's Andrew Bailey. Andrew Bailey in the American League, 2009. Okay. I mean, 83 innings, a 184 ERA. Just click off. I'm going to stop looking at these. I was like, he's certainly, like, what I was going to say is, like, Andrew McCutchen maybe could have got it if we'd have had two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he lost to Chris Coughlin. I mean, he won some of them, like Baseball America, I think, and whatever, Sporting News went to Coughlin or something like that. And there was another guy in the mix, too. But either way, you just wonder if there was anything like that if they were able to say we have a pitcher and a hitter. I don't know, though. I don't think no matter what you do, there's going to be some way that you're going to say, well, that was kind of crappy. And I think this year's going to be a good example of that.
Yeah.
And I think that there's other years that's been a good example when you, like I said, when you have two guys like this in the NL and then you look over in the AL and there's not anybody worth it. Now,
yeah, I think I'm with you on. I think if they do pitcher hitter, it should just be one for the league.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, and then we'll move on. But the other thing is, we are in an era right now, and this doesn't say that they couldn't change anything. There you go. Jim Rosati. Kutch was robbed in 09. Look, hey, Jim, put those numbers in there between Chris Coughlin and Kutch. And, you know, we had a conversation earlier about whether or not Todd Hollinsworth deserved it over Kendall and kind of decided maybe. It wasn't a whole lot there.
Would have been close.
It would have been close. But Taylor? Oh, he's responding to Bucko Mike. Anyway. Where was I at, Jake? Get my train of thought coming back. Oh, yes. We are in an era right now.
Yeah.
Where there are a lot of rookies that are making an impact as soon as they show up. More so than maybe what we used to have, right? Some of these Rookie of the Year guys, we will, come on, Jim, Kendall the GOAT. Some of these guys will look back on, and we did, and there were some of them I looked at, and I saw like, yeah, this guy was great. Maybe a smaller sample, right? Maybe he was a part-time player 1 year and then came out, and you know what I mean? A lot of these guys, their second year was their rookie season, and we still have that. But like some of these guys, like Jackson Merrill, like Paul Skenes, like Jared Jones, like Colton Cowser, like, you know what I mean? There's guys that show up.
Churio.
And immediately, what's that?
Churio.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's not forget about that either, right? You know what I'm saying? We'd be talking about Merrill versus Churio right now, versus Cowser.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's still plenty of guys that you'd be like, oh wait, we could be doing this thing. You know what I mean? And Skenes wouldn't be the only pitcher either. You'd be talking about Bobby Miller. You'd be talking about Shota Imanaga. You'd be talking about Yoshi Yamamoto. You'd be talking about some of these other guys. There was a lot of guys that made impact performances here as rookies on both sides of the ball. Yeah. You really could have given out 4 Rookies of the Year this year. Might not be able to say the same thing for next year, but you got it. All right, Cody. Jim says Cody's going to fight Jake for that hat next spring. He loves the rope hats. So I think Jake kind of, what's up? Well, bring it on.
Get it.
All right, so we've got Coughlin, 321, 9 homers, 47 RBIs. And Kutch, 286, 12 homers, 56 RBIs, 22 steals. Ooh. Hey, get me those on base. Give me those on base numbers. Because you could lean Kutch there. Right?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, you've got, and maybe time, all that stuff. Here's the thing, though. Kutch was 4th. Chris Coughlin, Jay Happ, who was the Sporting News pitcher, I remember seeing him. Tommy Hanson, Andrew McCutchen. Wow. Now, to be fair, Jay Happ and Tommy Hanson as pitchers had a higher WAR than Andrew McCutchen. But Kutch had a 2.3 WAR to Coughlin's 1.1, and Coughlin got it. What did the Sporting News do that season? Let's go back here. They didn't have it because 2004 they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So 2009, Jay Happ was the guy, a pitcher, which I would actually say that's acceptable when I look at that list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. 2 first place votes for McCutchen, 17 for Coughlin. And what are you looking at? 8 steals to 22 steals. 365 on base for Kutch. 390.
Coughlin with a 390.
390.
Sheesh.
850 OPS to Kutch's 836. Okay. Okay, and more games. Interesting. Jim says 09 was back when writers were still stupid. Anyway, I don't know. It's really interesting. I love the conversation around this whole thing. I don't care what they do. I don't really have a thought, but I've kind of broken down all the different ways to make sure that we have something like that. Every team, this is shared. Every team has a DH and every team plays everybody. It's time to combine awards for one league. The only thing about that is I don't know how I feel about that either, because then when I think of like MVP and Cy Young, I like more awards than less awards. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that time when we looked back if we had more stars than they had in random year 2005. I mean, literally random year, right? We had more stars, but they had more awards. Like that doesn't make sense to me either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't mind having that, having the AL and NL split up. I don't know any other way you can do it. You can't go right-handed and left-handed pitcher.
I think he's talking about just Rookie of the Year.
Okay, maybe he's just talking Rookie of the Year. That's fair, but I think rookies you could combine because of the volume, right? Mm-hmm. I think you could combine them. Give us a hitter, give us a pitcher. Because here's the deal, Jake. Let's not forget that if you were a hitter, like Jackson Chourio still isn't going to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not like, I don't know. Yeah. That's a little bit of a hot take, Jim. Jim Rosati, I think AL and NL should be abolished. It's a little bit of a hot take there. It's shaking Jake a little bit. It's shaking him up a little bit. 8 different 4-team divisions. After 2 more expansions. Thank you, because I was like, I don't want to call you out here, man, but I don't think that adds up.
Do math.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds... And then just 8 teams make it. Yeah, so Sherrod said I was talking about all awards. So, yeah, okay. Really interesting. This is big, though. Sherrod saying, Jim saying, there's no difference between the 2 leagues anymore.
And there's not.
They're really, I mean, I can't, there's none. You do play that's the other thing. You do play the American League or the National League more than you do the other league. Even though you play everybody, I think you still have more games. Like, I think we still have more games against the Braves than we do against the Rays, right? We play 1 series against the Rays every year.
Yeah.
We play the Braves home and away.
Mm-hmm.
So we play more against the National League than we do American League. So I could see, but that's a scheduling thing. You could work that out. You could work that out. You have 4, if there's 8, you have, so many divisions that you play. In that case, you would say, I have 3 divisions that I play one series and 4 divisions that I play home and away. And then in my division, I play multiple, you know what I mean? Now, of course, with only 4 teams in the division, you'd be able to break that up a little bit different. It'd be maybe more than that, but
Yeah. I guess it would just be, yeah. I mean, I'm just sitting here just thinking about it because I still like the whole national and American, and then there's one from each that go. Like at that point, you would just have a division winner from each division, and you'd rank them 1 through 8.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Jim. How would you do the tournament? All just basic seeding? Or, because like right now, AL and NL gets you on one side or the other of the bracket at least. And so like there's something to be said there. And I think if I was going to realign, because there's a lot of realignment talk, right? If I was going to realign, we should do a show one time where we actually realign the league and just have fun with it. That's an off-season thing to do, right? Yeah. But if I was going to do it, I think I would actually lean towards putting the 2 New York teams together and make sure that you avoid at all cost. The New York versus New York in the World Series.
Why would you want to avoid it?
I don't want that. I think I was hoping so bad we didn't get it. When you have a New York versus New York World Series, it's amazing in New York, but you have one fan base essentially, one city involved, and you lose the West Coast for the World Series. Like they're done.
You don't though. I think Subway Series. I think it holds enough. I think it would be interesting to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it was at one point. I don't think so anymore. I think you lose half the country in that.
I mean, Ashley was telling me the one day because she was kind of pulling for the Mets to move on. And she's like, if you're not rooting for a Subway Series at this point or even a baseball fan, yeah.
Yeah, I think the baseball fan in me was like, I want LA, New York. If you want the best thing, this is going to be the best ratings that they've had in the World Series for so long. And we needed that after last year's World Series got the lowest ratings in 40 years. With it being Rangers, Diamondbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was just, hey, let's just get this part of the country and then the rest of it, like they're just tuning out. You wanted stars. You wanted East versus West. Okay, so he does say East versus West here. So that would do that. That would take care of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I think that is good because then you are guaranteeing a broader, you know what I mean, East versus West guarantees a broader audience.
Yeah.
And I like that. All right, let's talk about the World Series. Actually shared what he's saying. No difference than AFC, NFC. NFL has AFC, NFC players of the week, but that's it. Yeah, I mean, you would just do East and West, right? I don't think you could keep that going. I think if you did do East and West and had your 4 divisions on each side, you could still say, so then in that case, you would still have a Cy Young for the East and a Cy Young for the West. And you know what I'm saying? Like you could still do all of those things. It would be National American League, but in your realignment, you would just say, now we have East and West. Eastern Conference, Western Conference, done. You know what I'm saying? And I actually like that. Still play everyone, all that stuff. Yeah, it's all there. Oh, he's breaking it down even more. He's done this. Jim's done this. 72 games versus non-divisional conference, 36 games versus non-conference, and then 18 games versus each division. And that actually gets you less travel, right? Yeah. Because you're talking about we're playing the Giants and the Padres and the Dodgers. You know, we're doing that every year where, you know, maybe you'd only be doing some of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think when I've done realignments, I've done something very similar to this. So your 4 teams for the Pirates, I mean, what would they be? I mean, you'd have...
He had them in there.
Bucko Mike. Pirates, Cleveland, Rays, Miami, Detroit. New NL division. So, so he's saying his math is off a little bit on the games and all that stuff. So that's fine. We get the idea, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd get Rays and Miami in the same as Pirates, Cleveland, and Detroit. If you had 4 divisions and 14 Pirates, Guardians, Reds, Tigers. Yeah. Yeah. That seems more like it.
Yeah.
And Chicago is going to be in the West at that point. Chicago, Milwaukee, they're going to drop to that Western Conference in that case.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have Boston, New York, and Philly probably.
The West Conference would hate that. They'd have so much longer travel everywhere.
And then DC, Baltimore, Miami, Tampa, Atlanta. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be fun. We should do that. Like I said, we should do that. Let's talk World Series, Jake.
Yeah.
We took a lot of time on this conversation. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted this to be the bulk. That's why I wanted to start with that and just see how long we go. Oh,
Jim,
Toronto.
We'll just have to,
that's right.
Come on and we'll hash this out.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Jim. Let's talk about this and let's have you on and we'll do a realignment and we'll have you on it and we'll talk about a realignment. Just one day this off season. Let's book that. Let's do it. We'll have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. World Series, Jake. So first off, you watch both games. You watch one game.
I watched one.
Okay.
And I watched parts of another from work.
Got you. Freddie Freeman walk-off, absolutely unbelievable.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. I don't care about that.
Oh, it was great. Just dropped it.
Yeah, well.
Just held it, dropped it. Loved it.
Anyway, to me, I'm more about the Grand Slam and the history of it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm not not moving past that.
2 home runs. 2 walk-off home runs in World Series history on come from behind home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Gibson in 88, Freddie Freeman on Friday. Unreal.
Yeah.
For things like that to line up. Walk-off Grand Slam in the World Series? Oh, never been done till Friday. Unreal.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who we all thought, I like the Dodgers' chances if he plays.
Yeah, I was telling you this in the car. I actually had the text written because you texted me, hey, I need your pick, World Series, and then the MVP. So I was like, Dodgers, free. I'm not going to say Freeman. I'm going to go with somebody different.
Yeah. Somebody's got to blow up to take it from him because right now it's his.
Yeah.
He's got it. So he had another home run in game 2. Although your Teoscar pick looked good in game 2 with the 2-run homer.
Yeah.
So that's good. Mookie Betts is doing all right. That was my pick for MVP because I wanted to go. I didn't want to go one of those secondary players because I just thought if I go a secondary player, you can't go wrong saying Mookie Betts. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was due. Judge is due. Judge is struggling.
Yeah.
Can't hit a curveball. It's part of the storyline.
Yeah.
Stanton is, oh my goodness, how in the world? Listen, you play the Yankees in the regular season, and I'm thinking, Stanton's cooked. He's washed. Far from it. The guy just steps up in the post. Like, he's not. And maybe it's just because of what you expected him to be.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't do that every year. You know what I mean? Like, Giancarlo Stanton certainly is going to hit 30, 40 home runs every season he plays in New York, right? He just, I guess,
he has one of the worst swings I've ever seen.
Last year, he hit 191, Jake, with 24 homers. He can't stay on the field. He still only played 114 this year, 27 homers. Like, it's like this thing where you just don't know what you're going to get from the guy. And then in the postseason, he's like Babe Ruth. He's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure the only guy that I've watched is probably, I would say, Hunter Pence is probably the only one that has a worse swing that I've had to watch.
Oh, I don't think
Of
that.
people that get it done. Oh, it's
I don't
terrible.
think that. I don't think so.
His
I
swing
think
is
it looks
awful.
I don't think so. I think it looks incredibly like strong. You know what I'm saying? Like it just looks strong, but it's not unathletic. It's not like Hunter Pence.
I think it's super unathletic.
I don't think so. Oh no, I don't think so.
It looks terrible. I can't.
I think that's an
hit.
opinion. I think that's an opinion.
I'll bet a lot of other people have it.
I would be surprised. I certainly doesn't look unathletic
to me. He gets the job done. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's the Hunter Pence argument, though.
Yeah.
Hunter Pence looked unathletic.
So does Giancarlo Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton looks like Paul Bunyan. He looks like a monster when he swings the bat.
Right. You think Paul Bunyan was athletic?
It's not. That's not the point, though. Paul Bunyan could swing an axe.
Yeah.
If he was real.
I love it.
No, I don't think it's unathletic by any stretch.
I think it's rough.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it now. I just have never thought that. It just looks like he's trying to hit the ball as hard as he possibly can, and it's the opposite of smooth.
Yeah, it's definitely not smooth.
Anyway, it's violent.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Hunter Pence is rare air. I don't think I'm throwing. It takes a lot for me to throw Hunter Pence out there. I've seen pitchers that swing better than Hunter Pence.
I wish Vincent was on this chat right now.
He loves him.
Loves Hunter Pence.
Yeah. Makes you feel like you could do it too. You're like, my swing's better than that.
When I watch Giancarlo Stanton, I feel like I could go strike him out every single time.
Well, that's fair. But when I watch Aaron Judge right now, I feel like if all I have to do is learn a curveball, I can strike him out. He can't hit a curveball.
He can. He's just in a rut.
Well, no, but right now he can't.
Yeah. Oh, I watched Giancarlo Stanton. I feel like I could go on the mound and strike him out right now, anytime in his career.
I bet he would hit 10 out of 10 home runs off you.
Probably.
All right. Ohtani, it looks like he's going to play. He slid into second. For those of you who weren't watching, slid into second, left arm drug behind, and he kind of popped his shoulder a little bit. It didn't look dislocated. We had this conversation. I think he dislocated his shoulder. And Katie was like, I don't know. He was holding it up, and a lot of times when they dislocate, they lay limp. And so she was like, I don't think it's dislocation. I was like, man, I just feel like that's what it looked like happened. Well, they came out. I forget what the word is. It's a big, long word that basically means partial dislocation. So not all the way.
Right.
And so, you've seen people with dislocated shoulders. They pop it back in. They go back to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or go back to playing. But who was Curtis in our tournament Labor Day weekend? There it is, sublex. It was longer than that, Jim. That's the short version. It was like subluximation, inattentive. Like that. That's a new word I just made up.
Subluximation point.
Yeah, subluximation point inattentive.
It's just a sub PPI.
Yeah. Anyway, intimidation. So Curtis popped. Remember, he popped his shoulder out, slammed into the fence when he caught a fly ball. Shoulder popped out of socket. Playing left field. Told our center fielder, pop it back in. Right there on the field, popped it back in. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Wild.
Oh, boy. Stanton 30 for 103 in the postseason. 130, yeah. What did I say?
103.
103. 30 for 113 in the postseason career-wise. Okay. Homer. That's not homers, though.
No.
What's he have, like 17 home runs? 30 hits, 17 home runs?
Yeah, because that's wild.
Postseason's about home runs, Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
I said Jakes.
You did. It's fine. Let's just roll with it.
It's getting late. It's 10 o'clock. We can wrap this thing up. So far, the World Series has been incredible.
Yeah.
I had some notes too, outside of that, but I think that's pretty good. Fan interference was wild.
That was wild.
Just go home. Like you brought your kid to the game and now you got to go home.
He did, like, before anybody came and got him, he starts putting stuff in a bag.
Oh, he's like, we got to get out of here, man.
He's like, we're gone.
We got to get out of here. By the way, it was a double the whole time. The only thing it changed is like the Dodgers could have thrown it away and gave him third like they did, like the Yankees did.
Yeah.
So sure, you give that up. But that was not a home run. It was never going to be a home run. And everybody who says it's a home run are probably Yankees fans. Or at least I'll say this. Anybody who thinks it was a home run should be a Yankees fan. Because if you're a Yankees fan, dude, your glasses are different than everybody else's. You're in it.
Yeah.
That's what I said about the Skenes thing. Like, we're not a good resource for this because we got a guy in it. So our glasses are different. We're going to see things a little different. And the same thing with Yankees fans. That ball went over the fence. They can't see it any other way. And that's probably the way it should be. 11 homers for Stanton in the postseason. Not career-wise, right? It's more than that.
6 this year.
Yeah. Career. So he had 11 going into this year, and now it's 17. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like all Yankees fans are Yankees. No, if it's anybody.
Right.
You got different glasses on. You want that ball to be over, you saw it go over.
Yeah.
Right? And Shazam is real. No. Is that the one?
Shazam is real?
Isn't there one where everybody's like, oh, we know that this dude played a genie and it didn't actually happen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shaq. No, Shaq. I don't know. Yeah. Sinbad. I don't know.
Sinbad played,
Shaq played Kazam. We all say Sinbad had this Shazam guy and it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Something like that. Whatever that is. We got to get out of here. Let's play some music. It's fun to have you back.
Thanks.
Wilson. All right. It is fun to have you back, man.
It's good to be back.
What do you got? Okay, 3 games in New York. What happens? Dodgers wrap it up?
No, they win it in LA.
Yeah.
Games. I said 7, but I'm going to go 6.
Yep, I'm going 6. This is the way that I had it planned out. 2 wins for the Dodgers, 2 out of 3 for the Yankees in New York. Dodgers wrap it up game 6. Mookie Betts, 4 RBIs Monday night. Chalk it down.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see.
Let's go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucks!